Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you from beautiful Chicago. And tonight our question comes to us from Lunar Eclipse Witch. And Lunar Eclipse Witch asks how I feel about letting spirits into my home. And I would have to say my main consideration is where I would find room for them, because there are so many already. I assume that what Lunar Eclipse Witch actually means is, in general, how do I feel about it? And I would have to say it depends on what you mean by spirits. If you're referring to the spirits of the dead, or as they sometimes like to be called, the differently living, and they're wandering around on their own, I would say don't worry about it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Many houses have a certain amount of haunting that usually are remembered fondly by the inhabitants after the fact. Things like the Amityville Horror, generally speaking, don't really happen. I won't say that there aren't places that have a lot of negative energy. That really is a different phenomenon, however. And easy enough to fix if you know how. But in terms of spirits, in terms of those spirits who are around in the ambient universe, I wouldn't worry about them. Now, if you are talking about certain disciplines of ceremonial magic, for example, that make it a practice to summon spirits, well, it's going to depend on what the spirit is. And that really would require a more specific question, but in general, I would say, again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If there's not a problem, then it really isn't a problem. I find that in general, spirits don't eat much, they don't cause a lot of problem, they don't disrupt things in general, and as long as that's the case, I wouldn't really worry. Now, if you're having a problem with a spirit, it's a different situation, and there are a number of things you can do, including seeing if the spirit can be crossed over onto the other side, if the spirit perhaps has unfinished business, if the spirit has some kind of communication. And of course, it's also worth bearing in mind that spirits include our spirit guides and ancestors who we want to have around us. So it all depends on exactly what you mean, but again, generally speaking, I wouldn't worry about it, unless there's a reason to worry about it. So I hope that answers your question, and until next time, may you blessed be.
Hi, I'm Terry the Stone Lady. For all your crystal and stone needs, come to witchschoolstore.com.